Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I'm diving headfirst into something straight out of a sci-fi dream, but it's very real. Japan's electromagnetic railgun, mounted aboard the JS Asuka. This isn't some futuristic prop from a movie. It's a fully operational weapon system that's firing and making waves in naval warfare. Japan's one of the first nations to pull off live sea trials with a railgun integrated onto a ship. And let me tell you, this technology is rewriting the rules of defense. So let's unpack every detail of this incredible system, from how it works to why it could change the game forever. Grab a seat, because we're going all in on the railgun's world. First up, let's talk about the JS Asuka, the ultimate platform for military innovation. The JS Asuka, officially designated ASE 6102, is a 4,900-ton testbed vessel launched by the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force back in 1995. Think of it as a floating laboratory, built to test the wildest ideas in military tech. Over the years, it's played host to everything from advanced sonar systems to vertical launch missiles, anti-submarine weapons, and cutting-edge radar. But right now, the spotlight's on the railgun, perched on a rotating turret at the ship's stern. This vessel's sturdy design and ample space make it the perfect home for a weapon that demands massive power and rock-solid stability. With that stage set, let's zoom in on the star of the show, the railgun itself. So what exactly is a railgun? Let's break down the science behind this mind-blowing tech. A railgun is a weapon that launches projectiles using electromagnetic forces instead of old-school gunpowder or chemical propellants. Imagine two parallel metal rails, made of superconductive materials, connected to a colossal power source. When you send a surge of electric current, think millions of amperes, through those rails, it creates a magnetic field so strong it's almost unreal. That field works with a conductive armature, either part of the projectile or a sliding piece, to generate something called the Lorentz force. That force is what catapults the projectile down the barrel at hypersonic speeds. Japan's railgun, developed by the Acquisition, Technology and Logistics Agency, ATLA for short, fires 40mm 320-gram solid metal rounds at speeds exceeding Mach 6, which is about 2,300 meters per second, or roughly 7,400 kilometers per hour. Some tests have even pushed close to Mach 7, around 2,600 meters per second. That's faster than anything you'd see screaming across the sky. These projectiles don't pack explosives. They rely purely on kinetic energy. Like a tiny meteor with the power to smash through anything in its path, a 320-gram round at Mach 7 hits with the force of a car slamming into a wall at high speed, no warhead needed. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the railgun's technical capabilities, starting with power systems and energy requirements. Firing this beast takes an enormous amount of electricity, anywhere from 5 to 20 megajoules per shot. That's like powering a small house for a few seconds, all in one go. To pull this off, the JS Asuka is equipped with massive power modules, about the size of shipping containers, stuffed with high-efficiency ceramic film capacitors. These capacitors store energy over a few seconds, then release it in a split-second burst to launch the projectile. Japan's upped the game with gallium oxide components, which are a big leap forward because they handle heat and electricity way better than traditional silicon parts. This means the system stays cooler and performs reliably, even after multiple shots. It's like giving the railgun a high-performance engine that keeps running smooth. Moving on to barrel design and durability, this is where Japan's engineering really shines. Railguns have always had a problem. The extreme electromagnetic forces and heat from firing can chew up the rails, like wearing out a tire in seconds. Japan's tackled this with copper composite rails, which are both conductive and tough as nails. They've also built in cooling systems, probably liquid or gas-based, to keep the barrel from overheating. In tests, ATLA fired over 100 rounds in succession, which is a big deal for a system pushing such intense physical limits. The barrel itself is about 6 meters long, sitting on an 8-ton turret that rotates a full 360 degrees to track targets. From the outside, it looks like a standard naval gun, which is kind of sneaky. It hides the fact that it's a futuristic powerhouse. Let's talk about the projectiles, because the design and performance of these rounds are incredible. These 320-gram projectiles, made of dense metals like tungsten or steel alloys, are built to survive the insane acceleration and heat of launch. They're shaped to slice through the air with minimal drag, holding their hypersonic speeds over long distances. ATLA's engineered them for multiple missions. First, they're perfect for anti-air defense, taking out high-speed threats like cruise missiles, drones, or even hypersonic glide vehicles, with a range that could reach 100 kilometers or more, depending on conditions. Then there's anti-surface warfare. Think punching through enemy ship hulls or coastal bunkers with devastating force. The kinetic energy alone can shred armor. No explosives required. There's even the possibility of satellite denial, hitting low-orbit targets, though that's still untested in public reports. These rounds are simple. No volatile warheads, no complex fuses, just pure kinetic power, making them safer to store and dirt cheap to make. The fire control and integration systems are what make this weapon so precise. The railgun's linked to a high-tech fire control system that syncs with the JS Asuka's radar and sensors. It tracks targets, calculates trajectories, and adjusts for things like wind or sea conditions to nail pinpoint accuracy. Japan's working on shrinking these power modules and fire control systems to fit on active-duty warships, like the upcoming 13 DDX-class stealth destroyers. They're also pushing for continuous fire capability, rapid shots without overheating or power loss. That's a tough challenge, but Japan's already firing hypersonic rounds at sea, so they're clearly on the right track. So why is this railgun such a big deal? Let's dive into its strategic advantages. First off, cost efficiency is a massive win. A single missile interceptor, like an SM-3 or SM-6, can cost between $1 million and $10 million. A railgun round? Just a few $100s. That means ships can carry hundreds of rounds, staying in the fight longer without draining budgets. Then there's multi-mission flexibility. This railgun can switch from blasting missiles out of the sky to hammering ships or land targets, all with one system. Its range, estimated at 100 to 200 kilometers, outstrips most conventional naval guns, and it's more precise than unguided artillery. Plus, there's a stealth and survivability factor. The turret looks like a regular gun, hiding its high-tech nature. And with no chemical propellant, there's no big muzzle flash or smoke to give away the ship's position, making it harder to target in a fight. Let's look at the development timeline and global context. Japan kicked off this program in 2016, with ATLA focusing on proving the concept, testing projectile speed, barrel stability, and power systems. By 2022, they shifted to full system integration, running live sea trials on the JS Asuka. Those tests have been a success, with consistent hypersonic shots and high-volume firing. Japan's investing billions of yen, hundreds of millions of dollars, into this, with funding secured through 2026 and beyond. Compare that to the United States, which shelved its railgun program in 2021 due to technical issues and budget shifts toward laser weapons. China's tested a railgun at sea on a modified landing ship, but details are scarce, and they seem to be trailing Japan's progress. With these successful trials, Japan's leading the charge in electromagnetic weaponry. Looking ahead, what are the future prospects and challenges? Japan's aiming to deploy railguns on next-generation platforms, like the 13 DDX-class destroyers, built for stealth and advanced electronics. There's even talk of land-based railguns to bolster missile defense systems. But there are hurdles. The power demands, 5 to 20 megajoules per shot, require major electrical upgrades for ships. Shrinking the power and fire control systems for smaller vessels or land units is another challenge. And while endurance tests are impressive, real-world combat scenarios, like firing in rough seas or under electronic warfare, need more validation. Still, Japan's progress suggests railguns could be a core part of their defense strategy by the late 2020s or early 2030s. So, wrapping it all up, is Japan's railgun the dawn of a new era in naval warfare? I think it could be. Its hypersonic speed, low-cost rounds, and ability to tackle everything from missiles to ships make it a serious contender. As Japan keeps pushing this tech forward, we might see it become a cornerstone of naval power, maybe even spurring other nations to jump in. What do you think? Will railguns dominate the seas? Or are they a stepping stone to something even crazier? Drop a comment, give this a like, and share it if you loved this deep dive. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.